So one of my first videos, I guess I'm gonna try to post this to YouTube. I haven't done much of this, so I recently uninstalled the Sena SMH10s. Basically, what I have on this cask over here, I had on the pfanner, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the SMH10R on the pfanner, just for the fact that it's a little bit lighter. I could distribute the weight a little bit better. I could put one on the battery on the one side and the controls on the other. So versus the cask, which is in my opinion a little bit lighter of a helmet as far as weight distribution goes, with weight in the back, weight in the front. We're gonna go that route. Here's another one. Petzl has it on the back there. I gotta do a little bit of housekeeping there with some wires, but nothing much. So there's that. But I guess I'll show you guys how I installed my SMH10s. Actually, I just took a file, 5/32 file right here, and ground down both the pieces that meet the actual, I guess you call it the main housing of the earmuff, and then the piece that clips into there that holds your dampening pad in there. And I just took a chainsaw file and made that, I guess, tunnel for the wire, that way it wouldn't be pinched or cut or anything. And then just a little bit of housekeeping around there, and was able to keep it there nice and tight. And when you tuck them out of the way, the wire goes with it. I mean, you can tighten it, loosen it, whatever you want to do. I'm just kind of showing how I did it. I know there's not many videos out there on how to install them, but I guess I'll use the SMH10Rs as somewhat of a guide for even the SMH10s. So, alrighty, I already took out already took off the old one. You can see I got the parts all laid out here. One thing that differs from the SMH10, I like the fact that you got a car charger with it. The SMH10R came with a car charger. The SMH10s did not. So there's a setup right there, the SMH10 minus the microphone. But that's what we'll do here is try to get this one all set up. So got to figure out the way I put it. I just lay the speaker, the microphone, or the speaker in there, and just put the dampening pad right over it. And I think you hear just perfectly fine. Other people might have worse hearing than I do, but I think mine's pretty bad. And then this, I filed both the piece that clips in right there, and then the actual casing to the ear, to the muff itself. Then slap that in there. Try to line this up, that way you don't pinch that wire. Get that lined up right in there, and then just clip her in. Oh. So, just like that. Simple. I mean, still put these on, you can still hear it, in my opinion, just as good. But same thing here. Make sure you put them right side out. Don't put them with the magnet facing out, because you might not hear as well then. But set that in there. Dampening pad and that. Yeah, I had a tough time. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory after I figured out how to install the SMH10s. You know, I did, I think, 5 or so helmets. I hooked up all my guys, most of my guys, with the Bluetooth. And then I saw these, the SMH10R, which I bought from treestuff.com. they don't stock it, so you got to special order it. So there's a little bit of a wait, but I figured, what the heck, I'll wait a little bit, no biggie. So gave it a shot. We'll see what happens here. You know, I'm gonna test them out and I guess come back with a full review on how they work. But after I got the speakers installed, I'm gonna just hook them back up, or hook the earmuffs back in. They just clip in, so it's a nice thing with these. Maybe wrong side. Or I just didn't know how to put it in there. So I'm going to use the same microphone from the SMH10. It came with two different mics. Just a wire mic, which I thought was pretty cool. Maybe I might integrate it somehow into the face shield. Now when the face shield comes down, mic just sits right there. But then I just run the risk of spitting all over it, because I always forget I have that darn thing down. And or you can install the more fixed mic, which is basically what I have in there at the moment. So whatever floats your boat. I'm gonna just set those to the side because I already have my mic from the SMH10 installed in there. So now to just figure out, I guess, where I want to put all this other stuff. I'm thinking I'm gonna just put it right back on the sides right here. Right in there probably. And see how that works. So, only one way to plug that in. There's not much flexibility to it, but something like that maybe. You could always just tuck the rest of the wires back up in there, wherever you want. So since I'm right-handed, I'm gonna put it on my right hand side, and then go from there. I'll try out the pads for the sticky stuff it came out with, but I typically like to just use the heavy-duty 3M double-sided tape. I have it out just in case, but at the moment I'm gonna just see what it came with. It seems it came with two of the sticky pads here and one of the Velcro if I wanted to Velcro it, but I think I'm gonna just put it on there so it's tight. I'm gonna see how it lines up if I slide my earmuffs back, and it looks like it might touch a little bit, so I'm not too big a fan of that. I might just trying to figure out how to put these things in there is always fun. Actually, I'm gonna just swap the earmuffs around and go through there. See if it fits better on the other side. Fits a bit better on this side, possibly. nice and out of the way. I think that works. It's a lot more lightweight than the SMH10 in my opinion. I mean, it's almost half the weight probably. Charges the same way, just a micro USB. The cool thing is I could just slap the battery somewhere inside the helmet, up on the top side somewhere, or find a place I could just, the battery's fairly small. I can even take it out. It comes with this little rounded holder. You slide it out of there, and just slap that wherever, up on the inside of the helmet, or, you know, that way it's kind of out of the way, and the only thing exposed then is your controls, which, I mean, that's sleek as can be for an intercom system, I guess. But yeah, I think that'll work there. Yeah, I kind of want to keep it out of the way, that way I'm not getting it stuck on getting the wires snagged or anything on any branches. I'm trying to keep it out of the way as best as possible. Put it on this side. Cool. Yeah, there's that. These I could clean this up a little bit by just putting it in the earmuff, which I think I'll probably do. Why not? Instead of having to put more crap, sticky stuff inside the helmet, why not just wrap a little bit of this and shove it inside the earmuff. You're not gonna know it's there anyway, so. Alrighty, so I've decided I'm going to place the battery up inside of here. And fairly small, I'll just put some double-sided tape and set it right up inside of there. And nice clean out of the way. Now I can even just set it right here. I mean, wherever I like. I figure try to keep it out of the way as much as possible since there's wires on it. Keep everything else inside of there, so. There should be no issues right up in there. Hardest part is finding something flat to get it onto, so. Because dealing with a rounded helmet is not the easiest. But, you know what? This stuff's pretty heavy duty, so it holds up pretty well. Looks good to me right there. If I gotta get it out, I'll just have to pry it out somehow, but I don't foresee having to take it out unless the system goes bad and go from there. But the nice thing is there's 3 different plugs, one for the mic, one for the battery, and one for the speakers. So it's something with downside with the SMH10 is that's your brains, and then you only have one plug, and that's for your mic, but everything else is one piece. I guess with this, if you really had to, you could replace the battery or replace the mic. You could do that with this, or replace just the speakers if you had to. So that's I guess an upside to that. But I guess that more or less concludes the installation of it. As far as the housekeeping goes, I'll leave that up to you guys. And I guess the last thing I do have to do is hook up the microphone cable. And that's just as simple as plugged in the battery and the speakers was. So it's like that. So yeah, the SMH10 mic does fit the SMH10R plug. So as far as this goes, I think this is concluded. But it's just a little bit of overview on installing the SMH10, because I know that's probably one of the most common ones out there. Like I said, I like to just take a file, 5 30-second file, and just create that little slit right in there with the file on both pieces, because this comes apart. If I could get it apart there. So you see I created on that piece and on here, so you could just see the wire sits nice and tidy right in there, and you're not cutting it off. Because first time I ever installed these, I was like, oh, what the heck, you know, I think it'll work, and I pushed this too tight and I cut my speaker wire. So I had to figure out how to not cut the speaker wire. So I just took a file and did some work. But other than that, yeah. So that's all set up there. Same over here, and they link the same from what I've read. Is this will still link with SMH10. It's same firmware, all that kind of junk. So but yeah, so battery life I've heard is a little bit less on the SMH10R, but everybody seems to not even, they can't even tell the difference. So yeah, well, cool. So here you go, finished product here. I mounted it on the right side of my helmet, somewhere where I had it, where it was almost as flat as possible. But one thing I do like is that the earmuffs, when you put them down, none of your wires are exposed. That's one thing I guess you could see the wire there, but where you're gonna have your earmuffs, even, it's not gonna stick out any. So less risk of catching it on something. And obviously you could see on the inside here is nice and clean, tucked up under there. So mic, same way. I could just pull my glasses out if need be, put the mic right there, push the glasses up, in and out, vice versa. So but yeah, no, hopefully you guys find this video helpful. And like I said, I went with these, the SMH-10R, more or less because it's lighter and a bit more compact.